Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Eric,
I'm Helena.
and welcome to the CMC News. Today we have
The elections in Brazil are on fire.
the fire on the National Museum in Rio,
All the news about the famous TV shows The Walking Dead and Riverdale.
the Hurricane Mitchell hit Florida and all of its consequences,
The royal wedding and the new baby on board.
families that are believing in the fake news and not taking vaccines,
All about the tourism in Brazil.
and also the weather report. And now we are back. In less than 10 days from now, we will have a new president in Brazil that will start in 1st of January. Nowadays, the election is currently on fire, with Bolsonaro ahead in the polls. But we don't have only that for you viewers.
Now with more information with Bruno.
Hello Helena, hello Eric. I'm Bruno and I'm here in Brasilia to talk about the political elections in Brazil. Yeah, they are on fire right now. There are only 10 days to the day of the voting, and right now there are two candidates, the one on the right, that is Jair Bolsonaro from the Social Liberal Party, and one on the left, Fernando Haddad from the Workers' Party. Now, the latest surveys from Ibope and from Datafolha, that are the biggest and the greatest surveys in Brazil, shows that Jair Bolsonaro, the right candidate, is gonna win. The last surveys for the second turn candidate shows that Jair Bolsonaro has around 60% of the votes, meanwhile Fernando Haddad has obviously 40% of the votes. But that doesn't mean that Jair Bolsonaro is already victorious. That means, just to make a comparison of the scenario, on the first turn, 10 days before the elections, more or less the scenario we're living now in the second turn, the surveys from Ibope and from Datafolha showed that Jair Bolsonaro had around 25 to 30% of the votes. And on the day of the election, on the October 7th, he had 46% of the votes. That means he almost won the elections on the first turn. So that means we don't know for sure who's gonna win the elections on the next October 28th. If I had to choose one, I would choose Jair Bolsonaro, but that's because of the surveys. But we can't say for sure. Even though the surveys says that Jair Bolsonaro is at the lead, we don't know. 10 days is a lot of time politically saying. So let's wait and let's see who's going to be victorious on the presidential elections in Brazil. I'm Bruno, back with you from the studios, Helena and Eric. Thanks.
Really interesting, Bruno. Definitely the elections are not certain yet. A lot can happen in the next few days, and if it happens, we will provide you viewers the information.
Now the fire on the National Museum of Rio de Janeiro that happened the last of September. The disaster destroyed the oldest museum in Brazil, and now with more information with our reporter Annelise.
Hi Elena, hi Eric. A fire has reached the National Museum in Rio de Janeiro, the oldest scientific institution in the country. The museum, created by King Dom João in 1808, completed 200 years. It held important historical events. Likewise, the reunions that ended with the empire or the letter that finished the slavery in Brazil. Between its collection, there was the skeleton of the first woman ever discovered in America that was recently found by the researchers in Rio de Janeiro. It also contained pieces from the pre-Columbian era, fossils, Brazil's largest meteorite, and dinosaurs' bones. Right back at you.
Thanks, Annelise. It was an enormous disaster, and we hope that the reform begins as soon as possible. And if that happens, we will provide you the information.
And now, as the weekend is coming, we will tell you about the weather report, so you can choose your activities to do on your beautiful weekend.
Hello Eric, hello and everybody at home. The rain arrived strong with winds and bursts in many regions of the country. It reached mainly the Paraná with winds that are more than 100 km per hour, which turned down a smaller plane. In Goiânia, the winds put down a tree and a pole. Also in Minas Gerais, the situations became chaotic. There were many overturned trees and the winds dragged a car. In the area between Vitória, Goiânia and Porto Velho, there is a storm warning. However, the weather is hot in these capitals and the temperature will be between 29 and 32 degrees. In the south, the rain is losing strength and, as well, is coming a cold front to São Paulo and Rio, and as a consequence, the weather seems to change and the temperature will be between 25 degrees. The northwest is without shade of rain with high temperatures in our capitals between 30 and 34 degrees. Bye, thanks. Now back to you.
Certainly not a weekend to enjoy on the outside areas, but we have more activities for you to do on this weekend. Now with Valentina.
Hello Elena, Eric, and everyone at home. Following what Juliana said about the weather, I think it's a good idea to stay at home and watch some TV shows because of the rain. A good option is Walking Dead, that is about the end of the world and the end of the things as we know, and the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. A small group of people who have managed to find each other band together in the Walking Dead story and push for survival. The main character is Rick Grimes, who was a sheriff when the outbreak occurs. They're always looking for ways to survive and to find other people out there, and more importantly, answers to what is going on. As they try to survive, they are under constant attack from flesh-eating zombies that will stop at nothing to feed. A good option is Riverdale, a TV show that tells the story of a murder that happens in a small town. You can enjoy the rain and enjoy these TV shows, and now I'm back to the studios.
Thanks, Valentina. Maybe I'll do these activities. I love to hear about The Walking Dead and Riverdale.
And now, continuing with the news, the Hurricane Mitchell hit Florida. It was one of the biggest hurricanes in all year, but now it's more like a storm, and we have more information for you with our reporter.
Hi Elena, hi Eric. We are once again at the hurricane season. This year, Hurricane Michael is the most powerful that ever hit Northwest Florida. It is the strongest storm since 1992 that landfall on the continental US. It is a Category 4 hurricane with winds at 155 winds per hour. Right now, Michael has been downgraded to a tropical storm with several winds and heavy rain. Families from Mexico and Panama City Beach lost almost everything that they owned. A 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit Sulawesi Island in Indonesia at the end of September. The tremors started to be felt at the end of July, but the most powerful one hit Sulawesi. The earthquake triggered a tsunami and killed more than 400 people and destroyed houses and buildings. A local hospital also suffered the impact from disasters and need help to treat patients. The situation over there is really critical and any help will be useful. Right back at you.
I'm really sad to know, and we hope that in the next few days everything will be okay, and as we get more information we will provide to you.
Now, to cheer you up a little bit, we have information about the royal wedding and the new announcement that the prince made about the new baby on board. But with more information with Valentina.
Hi everyone, royal baby on board. Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry expecting their first child. Kensington Palace released an announcement in the early hours of Monday, October 15, writing: The Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are very pleased to announce that the Duchess of Sussex is expecting a baby in the spring of 2019. The news comes hours after Meghan and Harry touched down in Australia for their first international tour together. The royal pair, who tied the knot in May, have been open about their desire to expand their brood. During the couple's first joint interview in November 2017, following their engagement, Harry, 33, revealed that they want to start a family in the near future. Their interest in having little ones has only grown since exchanging vows. Having children is definitely a priority, a source close to the suit's alum, 36, exclusively told us in early June. She and Harry went to start a family right away. She will start trying as soon as she can. Harry, who met Meghan in the summer of 2016, echoed his marks in April 2017. I would love to have kids, he told to the Telegraph's Man Dad podcast. Back to studio.
Hello Eric, hello Elena, I'm Rogers, the sports reporter. And first of all, let's talk about soccer. In soccer in Brazil right now, we have the Campeonato Brasileiro. There is on course and it's almost ending. At the top of the table, that means at the lead, we have Palmeiras, the club from Sao Paulo. The main lead players of Palmeiras are Borja, William, and Dudu. Three strikers that are scoring a lot of goals, so they make Palmeiras being at the top of the table. At second, third, and fourth place, we have Internacional, Flamengo, and São Paulo. Cruzeiro is the champion of the Brazilian Cup, Copa do Brasil. They bet Corinthians at the grand finals, and they were champions for the 6th time in their history. Right now, let's talk about basketball. And on basketball, we have NBA, the Major League of USA, back. The main highlights clubs of this season are Golden State Warriors with their fantastic team with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant, and now joining them, DeMarcus Cousins. Other highlights teams are Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, the big star of the league, and Houston Rockets with James Harden, the current MVP of the league. On the last season, we had Golden State Warriors beating the Cavaliers in a 4-1 game finals. They were champions for the 2nd time in a row and for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. And on the NFL, the other major league in USA, but the football one, we have it in the middle of the course, and we have right now New England Patriots and Los Angeles Rams as the big highlights of the league. Rogers giving you back the words directly from the studios. Thanks.
Oh, really interesting, Bruno. As Palmeiras in soccer is leading the championship, the NBA is back, and also the NFL with Patriots and the Rams destroying it.
And Valentina, good to hear about the big news and the big belly coming.
And now we talk one more time about fake news, as families are not vaccinating their children because of it. And now we will go to our report.
Hi Eric, Elena, and everybody at home. As it's well known, the vaccines are extremely important since they prevent a lot of disease, including deadly ones. However, a significant number of people are starting to not take the shots or to not give them to their children, as they are believing in the fake news that are being spread all over the world. In Brazil, the measles illness is killing a lot of people. Just this year, the disease killed more than 79,000, and the number of victims might increase since a lot of citizens are considering to not take the shots due to fear. The fake news related to vaccines is that they are causing autism in some kids, but this accusation was already confirmed that is not true. So don't let your fear prevent you from taking a shot. Thanks, now back to you.
Really sad to know about that. Families that are endangering their kids' health by not vaccinating them. That is all a fake news, and this should not happen. Families should have the sense to know that vaccines are extremely important to their kids' health.
Now with good information. As the New Year's is coming, we provide you all the tourism tips to enjoy this holiday with your family and friends. Now with Luana.
Hi! Now with the tourism part, we're going to talk about a very important spot in São Paulo called the House of Roses, or Casa das Rosas.
Located on Avenida Paulista in São Paulo, the House of Roses is the perfect spot for you at home that are looking for a nice day out in the city. The location is defined as a cultural manifestation museum and holds many literary and artistic exhibitions. The House of Roses was built in 1935 based on a project by the famous Escritório Ramos de Azevedo, responsible for buildings such as the Pinacoteca and the Teatro Municipal in São Paulo. For that reason, it is also an attraction for history lovers. The mansion is one of the first houses ever built on Avenida Paulista and one of the very few that survived throughout the years. Besides for modern history, one of the main reasons why this is such an important site is, as the name suggests, the roses. Here, they adorn the gardens in all shapes and sizes and are a must-see for the flower lovers. And if you're not that into roses, don't worry. The yard also has many different plants and a lot of green space, and even has a water fountain. If you're planning on coming, don't worry about food. The Café Ristora is right beside the House of Roses, and it is a great option for an evening coffee. The traditional restaurant/coffee house has great latte and tea, a lot of artisan-made French baked goods, and a traditional liquor bar. A delicious way to end the trip. Also, if you're on a budget, you can switch the cafe for a nice picnic by the grass. Here, there's a lot of space for good snacks and good company. The House of Roses is appropriate for all ages and, as the entrance is free, all social classes. So try to take a Sunday to enjoy the exhibitions, the flowers, and the food. That way, you can also take advantage of Avenida Paulista on its car-free day, when the city closes down the avenue for cars and pedestrians can roam the streets freely. Then, you'll be able to see all of the musicians, artists, and other attractions that take place on Paulista. If you're visiting São Paulo on a trip, or if you're a local that's not that familiar with the city's tourist points, don't waste your time. Take your family and friends to the House of Roses and enjoy its history, its art, its food, and its beautiful roses.
So, if you want to check all of this out, come to Avenida Paulista number 37, close to the Brigadeiro metro station. Now, back to the studio.
Thanks, Luana. I have nothing planned yet, but I'm excited to hear about all these possibilities that I can enjoy with my families and all my friends.
Oh, me too, Elena. But it's a shame, but our news is coming to an end. We hope you enjoy it and have a good night, and see you tomorrow.
Good night.